Next to some of the northernmost waters of the beautiful Chesapeake Bay, we're at M&T Bank Stadium near Baltimore's Inner Harbor. Tonight, we've got an entertaining one in store for you. It's the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. Here's Smith on the return. He stopped on the run back at the 27. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Right to the air, it's Hurts. Completed over the middle. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback goes man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, give your quarterback a chance.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. They run it with Saquon Barkley. And he's taken down. It's a quality yardage on that play.
You want to drain some of the excitement, some of the noise from a home stadium? It's exactly how you do it when you go on the road. Run it right down their throat from the jump.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Hurts on 1st down. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable. It creates space to take that shot downfield.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. Straight ahead, here's Barkley. Nothing doing on 2nd. They get to him behind the line. Now it's going to be 3rd and longer.
Jay, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Going for the first, it's Dillon. Crosses the 35, running for more. And he has this all the way down to the 23. They strike for 23 yards. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down.
I can assure you of one thing. That carry just brought some extra work in the opening quarter. You couldn't script that run any better.
To the line we go. They're set 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Here's Hurts. That throw finds Jamar Chase. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Now it's a bootleg for him. Now here he goes. And just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, sometimes, Kate, that pocket could be a lonely place. You're searching and searching for an escape valve, and there's none to be had. That's on nowhere to go, and he was lucky to get back to the line before the defense swarmed him.
Here comes play number 8 of the drive, 3rd and 1. Barkley trying this up the gut, and his short game gets them a new set of downs.
That's one as a running back in this league, you got to convert every time. Teams really don't care. If you're a Hall of Famer or an undrafted rookie, you can't get 1 yard for a first, they're going to start holding auditions for someone who can.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Hurts. And he scores! It's a Philadelphia touchdown! The Eagles finish up an excellent opening series. Jalen Hurts with a touchdown. So a very run-heavy approach to this one thus far. Hard to argue with the results as they start out with a touchdown, Brock.
Yep, even in a passing league, Kate, it's how a lot of teams like to start, right? Everybody loves to think of winning the line of scrimmage. Why? It sets up play action. It makes your protections a little bit easier. Win the line of scrimmage in this league, you have to win the game.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Return starts at the 9. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Baltimore offense to the line now. 1st and 10. Man in motion here. Jackson looking to throw right away. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be marked down about 4 yards away from that 1st down marker.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 35-yard line.
And time runs out before they get the snap off. That's the end of one. It's the Eagles soaring to an early lead. Back to the bank in just a moment. Back at beginning of the 2nd quarter, Ravens in possession. They've got 2nd and 5. Play action, here's Jackson. Pass into the hands of Mark Andrews. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that'll be 1st down, Baltimore.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out and gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
2nd and 3 now. Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. Defense following the ball perfectly on that zone read and closing on him for a loss.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
Making it harder than it needs to be right there. Just get the catch first. Guarantee some yards. And then worry about escaping the defenders and getting upfield.
Baltimore lined up in punt formation. And he's got a good chance to really stick him deep his 1st time out. And a well-placed kick here. Not quite on the goal line, but they're pinned deep at their own 10. The Eagles about set to get going for their 2nd drive. And they take the field exactly where they want it to be, Brock. Up a touchdown early and with the home crowd a little quieter than normal.
I'm not going to lie to you, Kate. I think most quarterbacks, competitors love playing on the road when they do just this. Just quiet them. Right? Turn them against their own team. They were quiet after that opening touchdown. You score another one, you start to murmur, and you might even hear a few birds.
Trying to find A.J. Brown. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It just kind of feels like they've met their match with this defense. So many plays, well, they just not ended the way they were drawn up. Fortunately, well, their defense is doing the same. You really feel like which offense can get into rhythm is going to find a way to win this game.
This one's snagged by Dallas Goedert. And he's short of the 1st after a mile gain.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Hurts now from the gun. He's running for it. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it stops. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
33-yard line. A gain of 16 yards. And an Eagle first down.
They put a receiver in motion right. First and 10. Here's Hurts. It's a screen to Barkley. Jukes one defender. A big play. 23 yards to move those chains.
Got to be a pretty good actor. Got to be pretty good at selling to that defense. That's a drop back pass. When you get a big play on a screen like that, boy, it's choreography by everybody on that offense.
From the 44-yard line now, first and 10. Receiver in motion, going left. On first down, Hurts. Not the way to begin a new set of downs, Brock, as they drop it behind the line.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was first down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
All right, here we go, second down. Blitz coming here, Hurts. Short pass brought in. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
This really isn't a route designed for a lot of yards, Kate. You're just trying to get a small handful and move on to the next down. Stay in rhythm. But anytime you can work some magic after the catch and stretch it out, those are welcome bonus yards.
Slot man in motion left. On first and 10, it's Hurts. Batted away at the line, incomplete. Didn't put it high enough to get it over that line. Second down coming up.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Play action. Hurts has it. That's caught by A.J. Brown. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Play number 9 of the drive. It's going to be 3rd and 5 to go. And again, here's Hurts. It's in or no, they dropped another one. Kicks dropped on back-to-back plays, Brock. It does force a fourth down.
We see this all the time. The number one thing you see NFL defenses do, try to force that fourth down, it's down coverage. Put your cover guys on the field. Let the boys up front cut it loose with pressure. Let the cover guys go shut it down.
Elliott connects there. And special teams convert to get them a little something out of that possession.
2 drives and both of them ending in points. You don't even mind you only got a field goal there, Kate. They got to be ecstatic, exactly the way they want to start this one.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Returnable from the 2. They're going to bring him down as he gets it to the 33. The Ravens offense returning to the field for their second possession. They could use something to trim that deficit and enough time left to maybe get this near field goal range. There's 35 seconds to go in the half as they are ready to begin their drive. On first down, Jackson. Throwing the out route complete. And he's out of bounds just past, looks like the 40-yard line.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're thrown into a spot and believing your guy can get there.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Lamar now from the gun. Complete Derrick Henry. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. This one to Andrews outright. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Lamar throwing again. That pass pulled in by Henry. This one only manages the yard before coming to an end out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd down.
Some certainly do it better than others, Kate, but every running back in the league today has got to do just that. You cannot be a one-dimensional back in the league anymore. You can't. You got to be able to handle your business, both toting the ball as a runner, and really importantly as a check-down outlet on short throws.
Jackson's going to throw again. He's finding his target. That's Hill. And he's going to be drugged down. Looks like at that 37-yard line. Timeout taken by the Ravens. That is their final one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Jackson yet again. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
2nd down at the Eagles' 44-yard line.
That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. On the return, here's Tyreek Hill. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Raven offense headed out for this first series of the 2nd half. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. Ravens to the line now. 1st and 10. Sending a receiver left. It's a sweep. He pops the pass forward. And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line.
Mitchell on the tackle. Brought down back at the 21-yard line.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Out of the gun. Here's Jackson. Completed over the middle. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down.
This defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
Eagles loading up the secondary. Dime look coming, 3rd down. Jackson looking to throw. And they can't connect on the 3rd down deep shot. Love the courage they had to try it, but it's incomplete, and now we've got 4th down.
The issues this offense has been having, well, they extend well beyond 3rd down today. You can just look up that big goose egg on the scoreboard, but now time's not on their side either.
Hunting unit out now. And he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. Fair catch called for, and he's got it right near the 30-yard line. The Eagles ready to set up shop on offense. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Philadelphia settled and ready. It's 1st and 10. Hurts setting up to throw. Ravens swoop it in, and they bring him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the first sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more? Or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
After the sack, another pass on 2nd down. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? Shotgun snap for Hurts. Finds him over the middle. And he's close, but they say he did not get there. It's going to be 4th and maybe a yard.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field. Keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
They'll run for it with Barkley. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. So the run doesn't get the yardage. It's a turnover on down. Now Baltimore returning its offense to the field of play. And what's really been simply stunning, Brock, is how far we've made it into the game, and their passing game, it is still grounded.
Yeah, so as they're sitting here losing right now, what I hear you saying, Kate, is it's time for this offense to take flight.
This drive is going to start out with a gain of 5 before they bring him down.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You can stick to the ground, you can throw beyond the sticks, really create some indecision now defensively.
So gain of 5 on that 1st down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd. Jackson, quick pass line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
Well, things weren't about to end after the 1st hit or the 2nd. Tight end had a vision for what he wanted to happen after the catch, and he was going to take on all comers to try to make it a reality.
The 15-yard line.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. They send a man in motion. From the red zone now. The throw is caught. He's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Get to Henry on the inside handoff. And 2nd down only works out for a yard.
He was brought down at the 8-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 3.
We'll see what they come up with for 3rd down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. It's the Ravens' ball. They come in trailing, but that lead is within reach. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Shotgun snap to Jackson. This throw is caught. They're going to stop him after a 4-yard gain. That means 1st and goal is coming up.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Jackson throwing here. He into traffic, complete! Touchdown, Baltimore! The Ravens make it a 4-point game here in the fourth. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
That one right down the middle. And the Ravens cut it to a field goal game. Set up and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. He's going to field this at the 2. This makes it up to the 25. Philadelphia getting ready to go on offense. And this really looks like a whole different ball game after that touchdown, doesn't it? They really need to go on a drive here. Eagles getting ready. Here comes 1st and 10. Starting on the ground here with Barkley. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
These stops, they don't always make the end-of-game highlight reels, but they absolutely should. Coaches and players know it. Offenses are always counting on yards on that type of run. And anytime it results in a loss, it could be a potential drive killer.
Second down. Here's Barkley. Not much space available there. Maybe 2. That brings up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Back to throw it. Ravens swoop it in, and they bring him down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. The Eagles are in punt formation. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. Ball taken in at the 36. And it's a game of 5 as we reached our 2-minute warning. Now the Ravens all set for another possession. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. The Ravens in a very good field position as they come up 1st and 10. Henry gets it here to start the drive. He's dropped a big stop and a big moment there, Brock. They could not afford to lose yards there.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Back to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Looking for Justin Jefferson on that throw. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Here he is to throw. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. Well, they had the look, certainly didn't shy away from it, but couldn't connect. And now they're stuck facing 4th down.
You never, ever, as an offense, like 3 and outs, Kate, but you really don't like them on 3rd down when you throw into tight coverage like that. Got to manufacture a better look.
This is outside of field goal range, so no choice but to go for it here. Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. Trying to push it deep downfield. And this one's swatted away by a defender, so they went for it unsuccessfully. And now they turn it over on downs. And that play doesn't get it done. We've got a turnover on down. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. First down, around with Barkley. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple yards there. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. They go to Barkley again. Now he continues to find no traction on the ground here, Brock, as they bring him down for no gain. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's 2nd. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now. A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Looking to throw. That pass complete to Goddard. And he takes it across the 30 before heading out. That's a pickup of 9. And that's a Philadelphia first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee. So the Eagles will fly out of here with a road win. And it still shows up as a victory for them, Brock, whether they score 50 or they have a rough day putting points on the board. So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner, Brock Huard, and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners as we say so long from Baltimore.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down at the 46-yard line.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 3. They go play action with Hurts. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
That's an early scrambler that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They'll run for it with Barkley. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I don't believe that was called right here in the moment. I believe this was called during practice this week, that he was going to decide to be aggressive even on his own side of the field.
Just you mean because it's the opening drive? Maybe they had this scripted?
I think that he just talked about it with his team and said, listen, I'm confident in you. If we end up in this situation.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nabi Matabike able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Here's 2nd and 10. And that's out quickly to Chase. yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
He's a talented runner. That means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker. And this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This is 2nd and 8. Chase, the motion man right. Hurts. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's good for another Eagles. First down.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. Down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. Officially, they'll call that a 9-yard pickup there, and it leaves him in a good spot here. 2nd down and inches upcoming. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts going forward, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown! Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Well, that drive felt like it took up an eternity. We finally have some action on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but plenty of action prior to, because that drive took up all the first quarter before we spilled into the second. And finally, points were registered.
On the other sideline, they're chomping at the bit just to get the football. Touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Looking to put a drive together. Play action. It's Jackson. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
32-yard line.
Jackson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
A 6-yard pickup brings up second down at the 6-yard line.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. Again, Jackson. And it's caught. And the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Henry will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. Here's Hurts to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he gets us up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now 2nd and 5. throwing is Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
This will be caught by Brown. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Now 30 yards between those last two plays. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. Now a 2nd and 6. Now back to throw. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. He's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number one.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Strong running at the 30. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the giver. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Jackson now. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Jackson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Now, both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A yard here to the 38.
Oh, yes, that was good pressure applied that time by the defensive unit. They forced him out wide to his left, but with nobody home, he decided to tuck it and go. And he's able to turn it into a short gain.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. Over the middle to Smith. To give him 2 yards there on the completion. And 3rd down and 6 to go.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Oh, good move. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now it's Jackson.
They're looking deep here for Flowers.
And That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That would have been a nice one to hit on in a tie game. You start to think that one big play, maybe the next big play, could turn out to be the game winner. They took the big shot, but it winds up incomplete.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10,
just shy of the 30.
They'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
He connects quickly to Jamar Chase. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll set up to throw. That is caught. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 44-yard line.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Hurts.
This short throw caught by Goddard.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
I'm starting to wonder here, are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart and moving the ball downfield. And they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Here's 1st down.
Barkley, toss play left. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, this defense needing a stop here. Got to have it. 3rd and 9.
Now Saquon Barkley. Oh, no, lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Now 1st and goal.
They'll try and run through with Barkley. And he stopped immediately there.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Another try for Barkley. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead. So how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11.
A loss of 4 yards. Brings up 4th and goal.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And his kick is good. And the Eagles are going to win the football game.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.